All right, so thank you for being here again. Good evening. We are going to start lying down on the back. We're going to do a little hip and hamstring work, and then some spine and heart opening, all in a recline position. So we're going to begin in recline bound ankle pose. You can have a strap and some blocks nearby. Bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out to the sides. And just take a moment to let the hips settle here. You can always adjust the feet closer to you or farther away, depending on how this feels. And you can certainly support the pose with your blocks if the hip flexors are a little resistant to this. Good, and let's take the left palm to the heart and the right palm down on the lower abdomen, framing the movement of the breath. And gently close your eyes when you feel ready. And start to feel your shoulders and elbows sink down into the floor. Feel the weight of your palms against the front of your body. Notice the sensation of the feet touching each other and the ground. And then start to notice the sound and the sensation of your breath as it draws in and out of your body. And then begin to make that subtle shift in your breath. Breathing more consciously, a little slower and deeper than your natural breath. And as that breath gets deeper, really notice the palms rise away from you every time you inhale. And feel them fall back down toward you as you exhale. And in both parts of the breath cycle, we want to feel that movement begin in the lower hand and move up to the upper hand. We're inflating from bottom to top and deflating from bottom to top. Take another few deep, slow breaths here in this pose, settling into the rhythm and speed that you're going to try and maintain throughout our practice tonight. And then you can release the hands from the front of your body and gently close your knees back together. Good. Separate your feet hip width apart. You can float your eyes open if you like, or keep them closed if you prefer, but if so, try and keep yourself alert and aware in your body. So let's come into recline pigeon pose. Cross your right ankle to your left thigh. You can use a hand to help really bring it to the center of the muscle. Press your right knee away from your face. And if you're taking the second step, bring the legs in toward you now. Reach through the space and hold onto the back of your left thigh. A little gentle rocking side to side might feel good. Even as the legs come in toward you, let it be just the left leg that moves toward you. Still feel like you're trying to press the right leg away from you. And those opposing energies are going to help keep the intensity in our hip stretch. Good, one more breath in. And exhale, let it go. Uncross the ankle and switch sides. Left ankle to the center of the right thigh. Press the left knee away from your face, so we're externally rotating that thigh bone. And then bring the legs in toward you if that's available tonight. Hold the back of the right thigh. Draw the right thigh closer while still pressing the left knee away. Good. Continue with that rocking movement if it feels good. You can also curl and spread the toes or move the ankles around. And the next time you exhale, let go of the leg and uncross your ankle. Good, slide your left leg down onto the mat now and energize it as if you're pushing the foot forward into a wall. And bring your right knee into your chest, guiding the thigh close to the ribcage. Good, you can keep the leg here, just find your strap and undo it so that you can lift up and place the strap around the ball of the right foot, finding our hamstring stretch here, pressing the foot up toward the ceiling, creating some tension in the strap by pulling tightly against it with your arms and then pushing up into it with the foot. Good, try and fully straighten the knee. And then bring your awareness to your lower back as we hold the pose here. And I want you to try and let there be some of the natural concave curvature that is present in the lumbar spine. So if your low back feels completely flat and pressed into the ground, maybe move your leg a little farther away and try and actively press your sacrum bone and the tailbone into the floor to lift the arch of the lower back. And notice how that probably, or hopefully, deepened the hamstring stretch. So our hamstrings and the muscles in the lower back are really closely connected. And as we come into the second variation of the pose, try and keep that sensation of lumbar arch. Take the strap in the right hand only and open the leg out to the right side, keeping it straight and active. Good. The left hip is still on the mat, trying not to tip over. The left leg is still active on the ground. Good. The next time you exhale, bring the leg back up to the center. Change hands and cross the leg now over the hips any amount toward the left side of your mat. Your right arm can open out to the side on the ground. Feel free to take this more into a spinal twist if it feels comfortable to bring the leg even lower. One more deep breath in. And exhale, swing the leg back up to our starting position. Reach both hands onto the strap again like we started. We're going to take a little lift. Tuck your chin, contract your abdominals, and roll your spine up off of the mat, trying to bring the nose and knee closer together. So now your low back is completely flattening into the floor. One more breath in. And exhale, roll it back down. Bend the right knee and get rid of the strap. Reach your right leg down to the ground. And just notice how that side feels compared to the left. If you need to make any little adjustments to how you're lying down, go ahead and do that. And then let's switch. Bring the left knee into your upper body, hugging the shin. Energize your right leg on the ground. Good. Let's take the strap around the foot, lifting up and placing it at the ball of the foot. Straightening the leg by pushing the foot against the strap and adjusting your grip on it so that it's nice and tight. There's tension in the strap. Good. Finding your first position here, really working on straightening the knee and energizing the thigh muscles. And then awareness in your lower back. Can you find that little bit of arching, pressing the sacrum and tailbone into the floor and fire up the muscles in the lumbar region, deepening our hamstring stretch. Good, let's take the second position. Hold the strap in the left hand only. Slowly open that leg out to the side without losing the engagement of the lower back. And keep the right hip and leg connected to the floor. Holding here as you breathe. And the next time you exhale, bring that leg back up to the starting position and change hands. Cross your leg now over to the right side, any amount. The left arm can relax on the mat. Good, on your next breath in, bring the leg back up to the center and take each strap, or take a strap in each of your hands again like we started. Good, tuck your chin to your chest, draw your navel in, engaging your core and roll up. Try to bring the nose and knee closer together. Right leg still anchored to the mat. Good, exhale, roll it down, bend the knee and remove the strap. You can set that aside for now. Release the leg to the ground, maybe shake out the legs a little bit. Release some of that energy from the inner thighs, wiggle the ankles. Good. All right, I'm gonna have you bend your knees again, planting the feet flat on the mat. Lay your arms down alongside your body. And we're gonna roll up and down. Actually, let's take the arms out to the sides. Sorry about that. Let's take the arms out to the sides with the palms facing up. We're going to press the back of the wrists into the ground and work on energizing the arms and activating the shoulders as we do this. So if you press really strongly and the elbows straighten here, you might even feel your upper arms lift slightly off of the ground. So if you can maintain that energy, we're going to start rolling through the spine. On your inhalation breath, press through the heels and roll your hips and spine up into bridge. And then exhale, roll down, one vertebra at a time. Keeping the arms active. Again, inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down, one vertebra at a time. Again, inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rolling down. Two more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good, slide your left leg down and now cross your right knee over for a spinal twist. Your right arm can stay out to the side. Start to feel your right knee, drop down toward the floor. You can use your left hand there to help it, but you're not really pushing it down. You're just letting gravity do the work. Good, exhale and unwind. Bend your left knee and then cross it over, forward twist. Left arm floats out to the side, countering the leg. Good. Exhale and unwind. Good. All right. From here, let's bring the knees into the chest. Hug the arms around the legs and rock a little bit side to side. And then let's rock up and down the length of the spine in order to come upright, taking a few of these. And on one of them, give yourself enough momentum to come up and stay up. Cross your ankles, lean forward and put the hands down, and step the knees back to find table pose. You may have to adjust where you are on your mat. All right, from table, let's take a few rounds of spinal waves. Inhale to lift your tailbone, chest, and chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and the chin as you round the back, hollowing your chest. Again, inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Continue moving in both of these directions, coordinating with your own breath cycle. And the next time you exhale through the round back, that'll be the last one. Return to a neutral spine. And from here, we're going to come right into threading the needle. Let's raise the left arm up and inhale as you open to that side. Exhale, sweep the arm under you as you bring the shoulder and the left side of your head down to the floor. Then move your right hand over a little and push down against the ground with that hand to lean back more. So feeling the stretch across the upper back, the left shoulder is really spreading away from your spine. And you can stay just like this, or you could reach the right arm up into the air now if you feel steady, and let the palm fall back in space behind you to open the right side of the chest. Good. Keep your inhalations especially really full, nice and slow. And use the exhalation to help find some twisting sensation. Good. If your right arm is up in the air, let's take the hand back to the floor. Press down against the ground and gradually come up off of the left shoulder, and then you can reach the left arm up again, countering the twist. Good. Take that hand back and find table pose. And then we'll switch sides. Raise your right arm up and inhale as you open to that side. Swift exhalation, bring the shoulder down to the ground, throwing that arm underneath you. Right side of the head is coming down as well. Move your left hand over, push down against the ground with that hand, leaning back more. Breathing nice and deeply here. Finding that broad stretch across the upper back. You can stay like this, or now add the left arm, lifting up toward the ceiling, and then letting it fall back in space. Deep heart opening here. Good. If your arm is up, let's exhale the left hand back to the mat. Press down through that palm to come off the right shoulder. Counter twist by reaching up to the right again, and then back to table pose. Good. Keep your hips in line over your knees. Walk your arms forward and press your chest and armpits toward the ground, letting the head come down for half down dog. Feel your abdomen expand and contract with your breath here. You can press actively through your palms so that your arms and shoulders energize like they would in the full down dog. One more breath in. And then exhale, take it back to table pose. Good. From table lunge, your right foot in between your hands. And slide your left knee farther back so we have a long stance here. Take a few breaths just to allow your hips to release down toward the mat. You can always put your hands on blocks here for this sequence if you like. And make sure that your shoulders feel comfortable and that the shoulder blades are sliding back away from your neck here. Good. On your next inhalation breath, let's reach the arms forward and up, lifting the upper body, coming to Crescent Lunge. Press down strongly through your front foot and the top of your back foot, anchoring the lower body. And then lengthen upward from your lower back, up through the spine and out the crown of the head. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands to the ground. Take both hands inside of the right foot now. Move the right foot out to the side a little bit and turn the toes out about 45 degrees. And now let your knee and thigh fall out about 45 degrees as well, creating space between your rib cage and the inner thigh. Good. In this position, you can be on the palms or maybe come up on the fingertips if you want to give your wrists a break. Bring your chest forward and up, like you're trying to do a Cobra Pose here. See if you can kind of arch the upper back, keeping the hips nice and low. Just notice how that feels in the right hip joint region. Good. One more breath in. And then exhale, press through your front foot and send your hips back toward the end of your mat. And now try and straighten your right leg. Lift the toes so it's just your heel on the mat. And your upper body and your hands are still inside this leg. We're going to go back and forth between these two positions in a moment, but first we're going to hold here. So this half split pose, doing our best to straighten the right leg. And my left hip is right over the knee. I'm not really sitting down on the heel like child's pose. Good, so let's go back and forth with breath. We're going to bend the knee. Inhale, return to that low lunge. Lift your chest like a cobra. Exhale, send it back, straightening the right leg and fold down. Inhale, return, lunge pose, lifting your chest. Exhale, hips back, half split, folding down. Once more, inhale, coming to that lunge, lifting your chest like cobra. Exhale, sending the hips back and now folding down. Upper body is inside of the right leg as it straightens. Few breaths here. Good, let's return to that lunge. You can wiggle your right foot even farther to the side, maybe just off of the mat. Plant your palms shoulder width apart. Tuck your back toes and lift the back knee, straightening that leg, and then push strongly through the palms and step to plank pose. Take one deep breath in, and then exhale, lower your body all the way to the floor. Point your toes, squeeze your shoulder blades back and together, and then inhale, arch up to cobra. Exhale, roll down, let it go. Twice more, inhale, rising up, Cobra Pose. Exhale, letting it go. Last one, inhale. Exhale, release. Good, press back up to table pose on the hands and knees. And then bring your hips back down to your heels, point the toes, come to child's pose. Take a few moments here, let your upper body soften. Just notice the difference between the right and left hip. Does one feel like it bends easier right now? We've done a pretty big sequence through just one side of the body. But even still, see if you can find balance here in child's pose. the table and take that sequence for the other side of the body. So we're going to lunge the left foot forward in between the hands. Slide the right knee down and back. Take a few moments here just to feel your pelvis draw down. Shoulder blades slide down the back, keeping the hips nice and low. On your next breath in, reach the arms forward and up, lifting into low crescent lunge. Feel that downward energy through the front foot and the top of the back foot, anchoring your legs to the floor, and then lengthen up through the spine, reaching all the way through the spine to the fingertips, lifting upward toward your ceiling. Last breath in here, and exhale, release. Good, take both arms inside of the left foot now, move it over just a few inches and turn it out at an angle, and then let your knee and thigh fall away from your upper body at about the same angle. Good, keep your hips nice and low. I'm gonna come up on my fingertips here because just give my wrists a break, or you could also be on your fists if you like. So in this lunge, start to lift your heart space. So your sternum, your rib cage comes forward and up as if you're trying to do Cobra here with your upper body. Hips are still low in this wide stance lunge. Good, and then from here, press through your front foot, send the hips back toward the end of your mat and let the left leg straighten now. So I'm lifting the toes up eventually, driving down through the heel and folding the upper body toward the inside of the straight leg. Good, let's go back and forth with breath. Bend the knee coming to that lunge. Inhale like you're trying to lift the chest to Cobra. Exhale, press through the heel. Send the hips back as you fold, straightening the left leg. Twice more. Inhale, come into that wide lunge. Lift the chest. Exhale, hips back. Fold to the inside of your straight left leg. Last one. Inhale. Coming to the lunge, lifting the chest. Exhale, send it back. Good, stay here again. Folding to the inner left thigh. Doing your best to straighten the left leg. Good, and then return to your lunge. Wiggle your left foot over even more so it comes just off your mat, and plant your palms in line for plank pose. Lift your back knee nice and high, straightening that leg, and then push through your palms as you step back and find plank pose. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower to the ground. Point your toes. Inhale just once into Cobra this time. Exhale, let it go. Tuck your toes and inhale, push back up to your knees. Exhale, drop the hips to your heels like you're about to do child's pose, and then lift up into downward facing dog. Adjust your feet if you need to, or adjust the hands. Finding that long stance here as you press the hips up and back. Feel the armpits press down toward the mat. And settle into your slow, even breath here. Take one more inhalation and look forward. As you exhale, walk your feet up to your hands and end up in a forward fold at the front of your mat. Let's hold on to the elbows here, letting the arms and shoulders just hang down. Gently sway your upper body side to side like a pendulum. Letting that movement just gently stretch the sides of the low back. Good, and then you can let that swaying motion stop. Let go of the elbows and take the hands to your shin bones. Press against them as you inhale and come to the flat back position. Lengthen your arms and your spine. Feel your shoulder blades retract, sliding them down your back. One more deep breath in, and exhale, fold down. And then we're going to come up to stand. Open the arms, come through that flat back sensation, and press your hips forward to stand the rest of the way up. Reaching the arms overhead, and then releasing them to your sides. Good, feel a nice tall mountain pose here. Standing at the front of the mat with the feet hips width distance. On your next breath in, reach the arms up again. As you breathe out, fold forward over your legs. Take the hands to the shins. Inhale, flat back. Bend your knees and exhale, step to plank pose. Take one deep breath in and then exhale, come down to the mat. Point the toes. Inhale, arch to Cobra Pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to the knees. Exhale, hips to heels, and then lift up, down dog. Adjust your feet and your hands if you need to. Find that length through your limbs and through your spine. Breathing deeply here. One more inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Reach over your head. Exhale, arms to your sides. One more round traditional like that. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Inhale, flat back. Bend your knees. Exhale, find plank. One breath in. Exhale, lower to the floor. Point the toes. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to the knees. Exhale, hips to heels, and then up, inverting to downward facing dog. One more breath in, look forward. As you breathe out, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, reaching over your head. Exhale, arms to your sides. We're going to take a little modification of a sun salutation, adding in a few different postures, starting with our standing side bend. We're going to keep the feet hip width apart, and this pose, always as a reminder, I want you to tuck your tailbone down toward your heels so that your low back has less arch in it. Right arm is going to stay by your side. Let's inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, lean your upper body over to the right. Send your hips over to the left. Deep side stretch, creating the shape of a crescent moon here from your left fingertips down to your outer right foot. Good, straighten the body and inhale, reach up through both arms. Exhale, the left arm by your side and then lean your upper body to the left. Still tucking the tailbone, lean your hips to the right. Good, the next time you inhale, straighten the body and reach up through both arms. Exhale, chair pose, bend your knees and sit back into your heels. Reach long through both sides of your body now. Lengthen from your waist all the way up to your armpits. One more deep breath in. Exhale, dive to your forward fold, dropping the head. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, bend your knees and touch the ground. Step your left foot all ending up in a high lunge. We're going to keep the knee off of the mat, so you're on the ball of the back foot. We're going to keep the left hand or fingertips down and then twist by raising the right arm, rotating from the waist. Good. Keep that back knee nice and high, deep bend in the front knee. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand down. Good. Hop your back foot a few inches closer to the front of your mat, and then press your hips back and try and straighten both legs as you fold forward. Pyramid pose. Try and connect your back heel to the earth. Do your best to straighten your front leg. Good. Lift your head and chest like you're about to do the flat back position. Bend your front knee again and hop your back foot to where it was. Find that lunge. Good. From here, plant your palms. Step just up and back to down dog, skipping plank. From down dog, just notice how the right leg and hip feel compared to the left. Good. Take one more inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Good. One breath in, flat back. As you breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, release, mountain pose. Good. One more time through that sequence so that we get the lunge in on the other side of the body. And instead of holding the side bending this time, we're just going to move through it with the breath cycle. So tuck your tailbone down. Let's raise the left arm up and inhale. Exhale, deep side bend, leaning to the right. Inhale, straighten the body, reach up through both arms. Exhale, left arm down and lean to the left. Inhale, straighten the body and reach up through both. Exhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sitting way back. Good. One breath in. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Inhale, flat back. Bend your knees and touch the ground as you exhale, lunge your right foot all the way back. High lunge. Deep bend in your left knee. Let's take our twist. The right hand or fingertips will stay down. Rotate from your waist and reach your left arm up. Stacking the wrists, squeezing your shoulder blades toward the spine. Good. The next time you exhale, release your left hand. Look at your back foot and hop it a few inches closer to the front of your mat, and then press the hips back toward the end of the mat as you fold forward, straightening both legs for pyramid pose. Try and connect your back foot to the earth. Good. Inhale, lift your head and chest flat back. Bend your front knee as you exhale and hop your right foot to where it was, finding that lunge again. Good. From here, plant your palms. Step up and back to find downward facing dog. Good. Press evenly through both palms. Reach up through the hip joints and the tailbone and down through your heels. Good. The next time you exhale, let's lower the knees to the mat and take child's pose for a second time here. Point the toes as you sit back on your heels and let your upper body just soften. Close your eyes and take at least 5 more deep breaths here. Noticing the work you've done thus far and where you're feeling that in your body. to lie face down on the floor. So lift up and then carefully lower your body. All right, we're going to do a little chest opening here. So we've done this many times before. It can always feel a little bit awkward, so I'll be very clear with my right and left instructions. So let's bring the hands into position like you're about to do Cobra Pose. So the palms are under the elbows, shoulders squeezed together. You're going to keep just your left hand in that position, and now slide your right arm out to the side so the palm faces down toward the floor and the arm is level with your shoulder. You shouldn't be higher or much lower than that, about level. Good. Push down into your Cobra hand, your left palm, and roll yourself to the right side of your body so that your legs stack on top of each other. And this is now probably pinning your right shoulder and chest down to the mat. So just get used to that sensation. And if this is a lot for your chest, you don't really have to go beyond this. You can just stay as you are. If you want to come into the full posture, you're going to lift your top leg, so that should be your left one, and then put it into like a tree pose position. So bend the knee and open the hip, and then set the foot down just behind the right leg so that it's on the ground. And let the weight of that top leg now, because it's pointing up, let it start to lean back in space, and that's going to bring maybe even more contact with your chest and your shoulder. It's going to really draw the right shoulder blade in toward the spine. And you can stay like this if this is a lot, or similar to threading the needle, the final option is raising the left arm up into the air and letting the palm and arm fall back in space. So we're getting now chest opening through both sides if you're doing this. Take a few more deep breaths. If the left arm is up in the air, take the hand back to the mat. If you did that kind of tree pose variation with the left foot, slide it back so that the legs are stacked. And then we're all going to roll down to the floor again. So face down, take both hands into the Cobra position, and just notice how your right chest and shoulder feel compared to the left. Good. The right hand's going to stay in the Cobra position now. Slide your left arm out to the side, palm facing down. Push into your right hand and roll your body onto your left side so your legs stack. Good. Once you're there, just get used to the sensation of your shoulder and the chest kind of being pinned to the floor like this. You can stay, or second step is raising your top leg and then bending the knee, pointing it up to the ceiling like you're about to do tree, but putting the foot down just behind you so it's on the ground. Good. With the knee pointing upward, kind of lean back in the hips. And then finally, if you like, you can reach your right arm up into the air as well. Let the palm fall back in space, opening the right side of the chest. Good. If your right arm is up, let's take that hand back to the mat. Just reverse your steps. Extend the right leg so it's stacked on the left one, and then roll yourself to face down. Good. Take both hands back into the Cobra position. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows together. Press down through the tops of the feet and the pelvis, and rise up into one final Cobra Pose. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Feel your collarbones widen apart. One last deep breath in. And then exhale, roll it down. Good. Stack one hand on top of the other so you can make a little pillow for your forehead. Rest your head there so that you can breathe here, lying face down. Then wiggle your legs a little wider apart, a little wider than hip width. Bend your knees so your feet lift up into the air, and swish your feet back and forth like windshield wipers. Good. All right, let's lower the feet. And I'm going to have you just turn right over to your back side from here. So you can just transition from your front to your back. You might have to slide yourself back onto your mat. Sometimes you travel off doing that. Once you're on your back, just place your heels on the mat with the knees bent. And just pause here for a moment, letting your back get used to being fully reclined, letting your spine find its natural curvatures. Good. We're going to take just one active bridge pose. So lay your arms down by your sides. And we're going to wiggle the shoulder blades closer together under the back. So just shimmy side to side and try and bring them in toward your spine. And then when you're ready, press through your feet, lift up into a high bridge. And optionally, you can clasp the hands together underneath you if it's comfortable to straighten your arms like that. If you do that, I suggest walking your shoulder blades closer together in that position, just making one more little adjustment. Take 3 more breaths here. And separate your hands if they're connected, and we'll all roll the spine back down to the mat. Once the hips touch the floor, wiggle your shoulders apart so that your upper back lies flat against the ground. Good. Open your arms out to the side with the palms facing up toward the ceiling. And let's separate the feet about as wide apart as the yoga mat and drop the knees back and forth like windshield wipers. Let this motion be fluid here, just releasing the low back. Good, and then you can bring the knees back up. Let's bring the feet together, about hip width apart. And I'm going to have you cross your right thigh tightly over your left thigh, like you would sitting in a seat. So we're going to be coming into an eagle leg variation of a spinal twist. So the right thigh is crossed. Push down through your left foot and slide your hips over to the right side of your mat, just a couple of inches. And then let your crossed legs drop over to the left. See how that feels. If that is too deep for your low back, then you can come out and take the regular reclined twist like we've already done at the beginning. But if this tight cross feels good, you can also end up hooking your right toes behind your left ankle. I know right-left gets a little bit jumbled when you're in this position, but that's what it is, yeah. Right toes behind the left ankle, and that's the full expression of the standing balance posture, eagle pose. And something I like to do here, since there's so much twisting happening in the lower body, I sometimes find that my left shoulder gets a little stuck when I'm in this version of the pose. So I kind of wiggle, like shimmy the left shoulder blade out from under me, like I'm trying to send my left arm farther to the left. So it's just a tiny adjustment, but it makes me feel a little more even in the upper back. So you might try that in your body. But if the left shoulder doesn't feel caught, then you don't need to do it. And I usually like to undo the legs before coming out of the twist. So I'm just going to unhook my right foot from behind the ankle and then uncross my thighs and just let them stack one on top of the other. And then unwind from there, returning to the back and adjusting my hips so they're centered below the shoulders. Good. Just pause for a moment. That's a really deep twist. Let your spine settle into the floor. Good, so arms are open out to the sides. Let's take the other leg. You're crossing your left thigh tightly over your right. Your right foot is on the floor. You're going to push into it to slide your hips over to the left side of your mat, a couple of inches. And then let your crossed legs drop over to the right, nice and slowly. Good. If it works for you to hook the left toes behind the right ankle, that kind of really seals the legs in this eagle shape. And if you feel like your right shoulder is caught, try that little adjustment. Kind of pick it up and wiggle it out from under you over to the right a little more. Good. When you're ready to come out, maybe undo the legs first. Just stack them on top of each other. And then unwind the twist. Adjust your hips so they're centered below your shoulders. Just pause there for a moment. You could let your arms come down a little lower. Feel your back just soften into the floor. And it'll probably feel nice to end by hugging the knees into the chest before we recline. So you can just do that and rock a little bit. Or if you want to take a full happy baby pose, you could do that too, if that feels good. And then when you're ready to find corpse pose, Shavasana, go ahead and settle into it. You can do this with or without props, whatever would feel most relaxing to your body. I'm going to actually grab a blanket and cover my feet. And once you feel settled, gently close your eyes. Allow your body to just melt down into the ground. And take one final deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And with that gesture, let go of the deep and focused breathing as you let your natural rhythm and depth return to your body. Slowly bring your attention back to your breath. And take a few deeper breaths as you move a little bit in your body. And then eventually bend your knees and roll over to one side, curling up into a fetal pose. And just pause there briefly to notice how you feel. And then gradually make your way back upright to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes still closed and your focus inward. And once you're there, find a nice tall, upright spine. Bring your palms together in front of your heart center. We'll end chanting Om one time. Take a deep breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making the time and space to practice this morning. And thank you so much for coming to this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful night's sleep, and hope to see you again next time.